国旗、佛教旗入场。
Please welcome Angela Mendez of Carmel, New York, who will sing the national anthem.
唱国歌。
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please welcome Yoshi Wang to singing the Triple Gem.
请杨芳怡女士带领唱三宝歌。
任天长野，宇宙档案，谁记忆光明？三界火灾，众苦颠簸，谁记忆安宁？大悲大智大雄力，南无佛陀耶！照览万有，人系群生，功德莫能名。今乃至为此事，真正归处，尽心手献生命，信守
will now make 3 bows to the Buddha.
向文陀信3问讯礼，1问讯，再问讯，3问讯。
Please be seated.
请坐下。
Good morning, and welcome to the 50th anniversary celebration of the Buddhist Association of the United States. I would like to introduce my co-master of ceremony, Wayne Chang, chief coordinator for this event and a board trustee for BOWS.
今天非常高兴大家能够来参加我们美国佛教会50周年的这个纪念典礼。那么与我一起来在这里跟大家服务的呢是Jennifer Marr， 她是我们这里的会员，也是我们的义工。
I would like to introduce our first speaker, Venerable Bhikkhu Bodhi, who's the president of the Buddhist Association of the United States, and he is from Brooklyn, New York, in case you did not know that.
好，现在恭请我们的会长致辞。
Venerable members of the Sangha, 各位法师, distinguished guests, dear friends and members of BOWS. Today, as you all know, is a most auspicious occasion. It marks the 50th anniversary of this organization, the Buddhist Association of the United States. And for me, this year is auspicious in another way. Since it was way back in 1964, there was a young college student browsing through the bookstore in the Brooklyn College who discovered on the bookshelf some books on Buddhism that stirred his interest. And that young college student, just before the Christmas vacation, picked up those books and started to read them, and that began the story of his interest in Buddhism. Of course, that college student was I myself. And so 2014 marks the 50th year of my own involvement in Buddhism. And my interest in Buddhism was inspired not only by my reading of Buddhist books, but occasionally we would go to Chinatown, myself and my friends, to enjoy a Chinese meal. And then I became fascinated by the statues of the Buddha and Kuan Yin Bodhisattva that I would see in the shops in Chinatown. And that further inspired my interest in Buddhism. It turned out that through the unfolding of causes and conditions, when I went to graduate school, I met some Vietnamese Buddhist monks, then Sri Lankan Buddhist monks, and so I wound up going to Sri Lanka for my ordination and training. But back in 1964, when I first became interested in Buddhism, BOWS was just being established, I think, in an apartment someplace in the Bronx. And if somebody told me then that 50 years from now, you're going to be the president of a Buddhist association that's predominantly Chinese, I would have thought that they were crazy. But that is the way, the play of, called karma, the play of causes and conditions, unfolded. And now, when BAUS was established, it was one of the principles of the founders that though they were all Chinese immigrants, that they would make BAUS an organization that is open to followers of any authentic Buddhist tradition. So I think this has been one of the strong points of BAUS through the years. It's really, in the literal sense, an association, an organization that brings together Buddhists who have been following, practicing, training in different traditions. Through the decades, it's been predominantly in terms of its religious practices, liturgy, ceremonies, rituals, predominantly connected with the Chinese Mahayana tradition. But in recent years, there's been a kind of influx of followers of the Southern Theravada tradition, the present abbot, Venerable Dhammadippa, myself, some of the monks who have been ordained here. And I think this is a very healthy interrelationship. Since it seems to me for Buddhism to flourish in the modern world, we need the contributions of both main traditions of Buddhism. We need the Theravada tradition to anchor us in the original discourses of the teaching, in the fundamental doctrines. And we also need the spirit of the Mahayana with its emphasis on great loving kindness and great compassion. And in this way, I think BAUS can contribute to the development not only of Buddhism in the United States, but also to harmonious relationships between the different religions in America, as well as between the followers of Buddhism and American society in general. So I like to think of the name Buddhist Association of the United States to mean not only an association between Buddhists, but an association between Buddhists and followers of other faiths in a spirit of friendliness, mutual respect, and mutual understanding, and an association between the followers of Buddhism and the followers of other religions in America and people in the mainstream of American society, so that Buddhism can bring to America its rich tradition of tolerance, respect, loving kindness and compassion, and wise understanding of how to overcome the sufferings of everyday life. And so now we celebrate today the 50th anniversary of BAUS, and I hope 50 years from now, though some of us may not be here, that we'll be able to celebrate the 100th anniversary of BAUS. Thank you very much, and may all blessings be with you.
好，谢谢我们的会长。我稍微做一下翻译，有几位可能是不听英文的。那么我们的会长说，今天是我们美国佛教会50周年。他想起1964年，他那一天他在 Brooklyn 走在路上，他第一次接触了佛教的书籍，所以今天也是他接触佛教第50周年。那么他说，美国佛教会在这里是以大乘佛教、汉传大乘佛教为原来的基础。 但是今天我们看到，美国佛教会有上座部，有其他的宗派融合在这一个地方，他感觉到美国的佛教在这个地方能够有融合各宗各派。那么不但如此，除了佛教之外，我们美国佛教会在这里也能够跟其他的宗教能够融合。所以今天我们在座有几位从天主教、有回教、有不同的宗教来，我们也希望在 下一个50年，我们也同样能够庆祝美国佛教会100周年，同时也看到我们在这一块土地上的人民能够和谐、和平，能够容忍，能够带有智慧，度过在这个世界上的每一天。也最后祝福大家，这是我们会长给大家的支持。好。
I cannot translate that. It is always a blessing to hear from Venerable